Let's go, champ. It's the champ, Shannon the Cannon Briggs, and you're watching True School Sports. Let's go, champ.
All right, so we're back here at the Sean Zittel residence in his room of boxing glory. Sean, what do you think about Wladimir Klitschko versus Anthony Joshua? That's a pretty big fight.
I think it's an easy fight to pick. I think Anthony Joshua is going to stop Wladimir Klitschko, and I see a lot of people really hung up on that fight and thinking Klitschko's experience and Joshua's never fought anybody, and well, everybody's not fought anybody at some point. It's like, Ali. They said that about Ali when he fought Sonny Liston. Who's this kid fought? They didn't say that about Tyson when he fought Berbick, but he didn't fight anybody.
Yeah.
So at some point, everybody who was great didn't fight anybody.
And you always had that step-up fight.
Yeah, you always have that step-up fight, and he's been past. I mean, he's 19 knockouts, gold medalist. I think it's an easy fight to pick if you look at it. I mean, even if you don't break down tape, if you just heard one fighter's 40 years old, coming off a loss, right? Mm-hmm. He's slowing down, and whose KO percentage has lessened as he's gotten older. Coming off a loss, 40 years old, against a 26, 25?
Yeah. Joshua,
gold medalist, 19-0, 19 knockouts. Same size. You would go, on pay. And the 40-year-old, he's been knocked out 3 times. Not only is he coming off a loss, he's been knocked out 3 different times. So, but then if you look at the tape, I mean, Klitschko, I saw an interview with David Hay where he broke it down really well. He pretty much said what I thought, where he's like, well, except he went overboard and said Vlad's going to get disqualified and all this crazy
shit. I saw that interview, yeah.
Yeah, and all this crazy shit. But before that, he was dead on. He was like, it's not like Vlad is this he'll bob and weave and get underneath shots and do all this stuff. Pretty much he just fights tall. And that's partly why, you could say age, of course, but partly why against Tyson Fury he lost. He finally fought somebody just as big, if not bigger than him. Mm-hmm. So he couldn't just extend his arm and then... Yeah.
He couldn't enjoy those stylistic advantages he had for years.
I mean, I'm not a doofus. I know it's not as easy as just jab, hold, okay? Vlad, you don't get 20-something, almost 20 title defenses, maybe it was 20 title defenses.
Olympic gold medalist. Undisputed heavyweight champion for a decade. Okay, the guy's a first ballot Hall of Famer, okay? Having said that, I have, and I say this with the utmost respect, because like I just said, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I have as little respect and as prestige for Vlad Klitschko as I've ever had maybe for any first ballot Hall of Fame great fighter. I give him that, and then the bare minimum of whatever that is, which is probably really high. But I mean, in his prime he was knocked out 3 times, and you could say, well, once Emmanuel came with him, but he never, to me. He would beat some of the all-time great heavyweights that are pound-for-pound better fighters than him, probably. Because of his size.
Because size. Like a Joe Frazier, Rocky Marciano. He'd beat them guys. But pound-for-pound is supposed to be, and we'll talk about that in a minute,
yeah.
pound-for-pound, if everybody was the same size. So those guys, I think, are better fighters, even though he beat them head-to-head. But Vlad is going to get stopped by Anthony Joshua. I think mid to mid-late rounds. I don't think it's going to take him 11, 12 rounds, 10 rounds. I think as early as 4 or 5, as late as 9, maybe 10. But, I think that's what you're looking at, 4 to 10. Because Vlad isn't going to, get away from them shots. He's just going to try and be tall, and he can't do that with a kid who's just as tall as him, 6'6". He's faster than him. He knows how to fire off combinations. You could say, well, Joshua he's herky-jerky maybe. I don't
stiff,
really.
robotic.
Yeah, a little stiff. Maybe.
That's what we hear.
But he's stiff with good moves. Does that make sense? He knows good stuff in his repertoire, good defensive moves, good hand placements.
He knows where to be. He knows where to be.
Yeah, he knows what to do. Maybe they come out a little stiff, but they're the right, and it comes out with speed and with power. So I think this is a fight where he pretty much blows Vlad away. And it's the end of Vlad's career as a top heavyweight. And the beginning of... Joshua's going to be ranked the #1 guy after this fight.
The Joshua era begins, so...
Possibly, very possible.
Hopefully, I'm looking forward to him.
I don't count Deontay Wilder out.
You can't count him out with that power. He's got that,
was wiry, like he's skinny, but he's like a wiry guy.
He's got a great jab.
Yeah, great, great jab. Lunges it a little bit, but
he's got flaws,
yeah.
But like he said recently, I'm with the Boxing Voice, of course, and man, Nestor, he said recently to Ness, I don't do the traditional defensive moves I'm supposed to do, but I'm unorthodox and I fight my own way.
Mm-hmm.
Ali did. I mean, I know Wilder's not. We're not gonna call Muhammad Ali.
Sure.
Although he's got a hell of a jab and a hell of a 1-2, and he can move around the ring. He's right to a degree. Like some of the stuff he does when he goes back like that.
Yeah,
you see him get caught in sparring with David Haye, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that could be used against him. So to a degree, he's right. Like he gets away with some of that stuff because he is 6'7" and athletic. Joshua may be the only guy really that can make him pay for it. I know a lot of people like Luis Ortiz, but I think he's too old for one.
And nobody's gonna give him a fight.
And he waits on guys. Okay, he's 6'4". He ain't 6'6". He ain't 6'7", 20-something. Peak athlete like Wilder and Joshua. He's 37, 38, and he waits on guys. He's a counterpuncher. So against the taller guys that can keep you on the end of their length with a great jab, Joshua just a good enough jab and set up the combinations behind it. He can never get started because he's just waiting. Older, slower guy.
Yeah.
I don't think I would love to see it. If they're not going to fight each other, Wilder and Joshua, then I would like to see Ortiz, but I don't think he beats either one of them guys. I don't find him the boogeyman of the division.
That's a very interesting perspective because most people would say he is the boogeyman of the division.
And that's why I say that. And it's like, really? This 38-year-old guy? He's good. I mean, you get it. Great Cuban background, but...
Yeah, man, yeah.